Area 51. Hidden deep in the Nevada desert, Area 51 has long been linked to rumors about aliens, UFOs, and secret experiments. Because the highly secretive military base remained officially unacknowledged for decades, many people believed the government was hiding something extraordinary there. The conspiracy grew during the Cold War after witnesses reported strange aircraft and unexplained objects moving through the sky at unusual speeds. Over time, people began believing the military was secretly studying extraterrestrial technology or hiding crashed alien spacecraft inside the base. During the 1980s and 1990s, media coverage and the rise of the internet helped turn Area 51 into a major symbol of government secrecy. Former military employees and self-proclaimed witnesses made dramatic claims about alien autopsies and underground laboratories. Interest in UFOs grew again after the Pentagon released new files connected to unidentified aerial phenomena. In May 2026, the government launched the Pursue Initiative, releasing more than 160 classified documents to the public. Some reports described objects performing unusual movements, while newly released Apollo mission archives included previously unseen images of unidentified objects near the moon. However, officials say there is still no confirmed evidence of extraterrestrial life. Much of Area 51's mystery is still believed to be connected to military secrecy rather than aliens. The base was used to test highly classified aircraft during the Cold War, meaning many sightings were likely experimental technology unknown to the public at the time. The faked moon landing. According to the moon landing conspiracy theory, the Apollo 11 mission in 1969 was staged by the United States government. Believers claimed that NASA filmed the landing on Earth and presented it as a real mission in order to win the space race against the Soviet Union during the Cold War. The theory began gaining attention during the 1970s as footage from the mission came under growing suspicion. Certain details, such as the American flag appearing to move, the absence of visible stars in space photos, and unusual shadows on the moon's surface were often treated as evidence that the landing had been filmed in a studio. As the idea spread through media and eventually the internet, more claims continued to appear. Some believers argued that the technology at the time was not advanced enough to safely land humans on the moon and return them to Earth. Others claimed that NASA and other officials had participated in a massive cover-up for decades. However, there is strong evidence that the moon landing really happened. Thousands of engineers, scientists, and astronauts worked on the Apollo program, while independent tracking stations around the world monitored the missions in real time. Moon rocks brought back by astronauts were studied internationally, while later missions and satellite imagery continued to confirm the landing sites on the moon's surface. The Illuminati. For decades, the Illuminati has been one of the most famous conspiracy theories in the world. According to the theory, a secret organization operates behind the scenes, quietly influencing world events and controlling society from the shadows. The group is often associated with symbols like the all-seeing eye and supposed hidden messages in popular culture. Over time, the theory spread far beyond politics. Powerful figures, celebrities, and major institutions were all accused of being connected to the Illuminati. Some believers claimed that major events and global crises were secretly orchestrated as part of a plan for world control. Because almost anything could be linked to the theory, it spread rapidly across the internet and media for years. However, the conspiracy was loosely based on a real historical group. In 1776, an organization called the Bavarian Illuminati was founded in Germany by a professor named Adam Weishaupt. Unlike the modern conspiracy theory, the original Illuminati was not a secret group controlling the world. It was a small intellectual society that promoted reason while opposing excessive political and religious influence. The organization was eventually banned by the Bavarian government and largely disappeared within a few years. Today, there is no credible evidence that a secret organization called the Illuminati controls world events. Most claims connected to the theory rely on speculation rather than verifiable proof. The chemtrails conspiracy theory revolves around the idea that the white condensation trails left behind by high-altitude aircraft are actually toxic chemicals being intentionally sprayed into the atmosphere. According to the theory, these secret spraying operations are conducted by governments or shadowy organizations without public knowledge. Believers claim that the trails are used for a variety of hidden purposes, including weather modification, geoengineering, population control, or psychological testing on human populations. The idea first began spreading online during the late 1990s as internet forums grew in popularity. Proponents often pointed to trails that persisted in the sky for long periods or formed grid-like patterns as supposed proof of chemical spraying. Over time, Unrelated changes in weather patterns and corporate agricultural shifts became woven into a much larger narrative about environmental control. However, atmospheric scientists and international aviation agencies have consistently debunked these claims. The lines in the sky are actually contrails, which form naturally when hot, humid jet engine exhaust hits the freezing cold air at high altitudes, causing water vapor to rapidly freeze into ice crystals. Independent studies testing atmospheric samples have found zero evidence of a clandestine spraying program, showing that the phenomenon is entirely explained by standard physics and meteorology. The Bermuda Triangle conspiracy theory suggests that an imaginary region in the western part of the North Atlantic Ocean is the site of unnatural and mysterious disappearances of ships and aircraft. According to the narrative, a disproportionate number of vessels have vanished within this zone under unexplained circumstances, with some believers pointing to supernatural forces. Popular explanations over the decades have included localized magnetic anomalies that disrupt navigation equipment, leftover energy crystals from the sunken city of Atlantis, or even underwater alien bases capturing travelers. The myth began gaining widespread public attention in the mid-20th century through magazine articles and best-selling books that compiled lists of missing vessels. As the story evolved, the internet helped keep the legend alive by sharing historical tales of missing crews and unexplained radio silence. However, marine insurance groups and maritime authorities, including the United States Coast Guard, maintain that there is no evidence the region experiences higher rates of disappearances than any other heavily traveled ocean route. The Bermuda Triangle is a high-traffic area subject to sudden, violent tropical storms and complex underwater topography, meaning that documented losses are statistically normal and connected to natural human error or severe weather rather than paranormal activity. The Flat Earth conspiracy theory claims that the Earth is not a globe, but a flat plane surrounded by walls of ice. According to the theory, governments and space agencies have been hiding the truth about the planet's shape for generations. Some believers also claim that images of Earth from space were fabricated as part of a massive global deception. Although the idea dates back centuries, the modern Flat Earth movement began gaining attention again during the 2000s through online content and forums. As it spread across the internet, many people started questioning photographs from space and satellite footage. Some supporters argued that the horizon always appears flat, while others believed that gravity was either fake or misunderstood. Videos presenting personal experiments and observations were widely shared, often portraying mainstream science as misleading. Over time, ideas involving NASA, Antarctica, and hidden information became connected to the movement, turning it into a much larger conspiracy narrative. Despite the growing popularity of these claims, the scientific community continues to present evidence supporting the Earth's spherical shape. From centuries of observation to satellite imagery and modern physics, the globe model remains a verified scientific fact.